Well, fight fans, Amir Khan, Kell Brook in 2022. Let's talk about it. Well, after 10 to 15 years of talk between the two of them and fans, we finally got the Amir Khan Kell Brook fight. It took us to 2022 to get it, but we got it, and the fight ended up being a good, exciting fight. I actually had Brook by decision. I thought that he would hurt Khan. I thought he would hurt him good at some point in the fight, but I actually thought that Khan would hang on and make it to a decision, but we know that they both have chin issues, and that was not the case as Kell Brook gets the stoppage from the ref stopping the fight. Let's start with the pros and the cons. The first pro is for us, the fans. Yes, I know we got these guys both at 35 and past their prime, but this is a fight that most of us, I know a lot of my brothers and sisters overseas, the UK, really, really wanted this fight for years, but believe it or not, us over here in the States, we wanted this fight as well too. So one pro would be for us, the fans. Let me start with Amir Khan. The pros would be is that he still looks decent at 35 years old. He still has decent speed. Now, to me, he was not as fast as he once was, but he still had decent speed. He still had good agility and upper body movement, and I thought he still had good foot movement, and I thought he still had some of his power, and I thought he put some good shots on Kell Brook. The cons would be that chin. The same thing has always been since Bradis Prescott cracked that chin years ago. Amir Khan has always had a suspect chin, and I believe that Saul Alvarez shattered what was left of that punch resistance that he had. That's why I picked Brook, because I thought it would be a matter of time before Brook got to that chin. As for Kell Brook, the pros would be I love how patient he was. He looked calm coming to the ring, and once the bell started, he didn't jump all over Khan. He stayed nice and calm. You can tell that he had a game plan, probably the same game plan he's had for the last 7, 8 years since he's wanted this fight, and he executed that game plan. He he used his jab to set up that right hand, and I love the right uppercuts that Kell was throwing. The cons would be I wish that Kell would have done more body work. When Amir Khan was hurt and his legs was weak, Kell should have started going to the body to bring those hands down so he can go up top and maybe even get a knockdown, because I would have liked to seen Kell at least get a knockdown in this fight. I'm not saying I want to see Amir Khan hurt and stretched out, but it'd have been nice for Kell to at least get a knockdown before the referee stopped the fight. As far as the fight goes, I thought it was a good action fight. I actually said to one of my guys on Twitter that this was our generation's version of Ali Frazier. And what I meant by that is two great fighters past their prime, but they have slowed down enough to where their speed is not what it was, their agility is not what it was. So you have to resort to violence, meaning that there has to be more shots thrown. That's what Ali Frazier 3 was like. If you go back and watch those fights, you'll realize that it was nothing like the first two fights. And that's what we got here. I thought that we got a beautiful masterpiece of two guys past their best days. Their speed is not there anymore. The punch resistance is down. The the ability to dance around the ring for 12 rounds was not there. So they were going to have to find each other and get it on. Now, I did think the fight would go the distance, but Kell got the stoppage. So where do we go from here? I'm going to have to agree with something that Andre Ward said. I don't know what feed you were watching, but Andre Ward said at the end of this fight that both fighters should just retire. And I'm 100% in agreement with Ward. Khan needs to save what's left of his brain cells and his health. Go on, enjoy his family. He probably will be a good commentator over there in the UK doing fights. He's had a good career. He has nothing to hang his head about. I just don't want to see him get seriously hurt and it affects him down the road. For Kell Brook, I feel the same way. I feel that eye, since he fought Golovkin, has held him up, and I don't see any reason for him to stay in there and take any more damage. I think that this was a great fight, and the way that it ended was a great way for him to end his career. He fought a guy who he's been rivals with for a long time. He proved his point, and I think that he should just take this win and ride off in the sunset, and let's see if he's able to make it into the Hall of Fame when that time comes. But what did you think? And what do you want to see? Do you want to see either of these guys fight on? And by the way, that reminds me of something. I heard something about Amir Khan has a rematch clause. No need for that. This fight ended this time the same way it would end if they fought again, or if they even fought a third time. It's going to end the same way. But what do you want to see these guys do? Do you want to see them fight someone else? Or do you want to see both of these guys just ride off in the sunset, enjoy the rest of their life, enjoy their family, and do something else? All right, fight fans, that's pretty much it. It was actually a pretty good card that they put on over there. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, give me your comments, and hit the notification bell so we can keep talking boxing. Other than that, that's all I got. Holla at y'all later.